Why don't we start with last night and start with this morning, how it all comes together? Let me tell you about my drive-in. My drive-in this morning, a little gloomy this morning. A little gloomy in the sense that all those majestic purple and gold car flags that so proudly were flapping in the wind yesterday all across LA and Orange County were nowhere to be found this morning. Not one. I didn't see one. They were nowhere to be found, kind of like the Lakers themselves last night. Nowhere to be found. For the second night in a row, we were treated to a nice, swift ass-kicking in the association. And for the second night in a row, that nice, swift ass-kicking was a major statement. Statement being, the Dubs are nowhere near done. Clearly, they've got every bit of that competitive fire and that desire, that grit still, that had them stacking those 4 Larios in the first place. Clearly, the Dubs are still that team that can switch up and adjust on the fly better than anybody else. Case in point, JaMychal Green. Remember him? Did you even know about him? He starts in place of Kevon Looney, who was sick last night. And he turned that spot start into a monster start. LeBron even said after the game, quote, those 12 minutes felt like 24 minutes, 30 minutes. You know, as absurd as that sounds, he's actually right in this case. Well, almost right. It was actually 13 minutes. So he's right to say the 13 felt like 30. In the end, 15 points for JaMychal Green in those 13 minutes in that spot start. A spot start that he only found out about around 2 hours before tip. Hey, you tell me, when you were watching that pregame show and you heard that Kevon Looney was sick and you had hit the Golden State Warriors or you were a Golden State Warrior fan, how hard were you tripping? Knowing that they already had their backs to the wall and that they weren't going to have Looney, at least not for any significant amount of time. Anyway, you find out he's not right, and then you get JaMychal, and every bucket that this guy scores matters. Never mind that he didn't score a single bucket in the Kings series. Not one. He lights the Lakers up in a huge way in Game 2. How do I put that? You love to see it. But even better than his 15 points in 13 minutes was the fact that Looney somehow did manage to get himself out there and out-rebound everybody on the Lakers, even though he came off the bench, and even though he only played 12 minutes, and even though in those 12 minutes he was sick as hell, and yet he still out-rebounds every single Laker? How does that happen? Everybody on the Dubs stepped up last night, but nobody more so than the legend Klay Thompson. Klay was freaking on one. 30 points, 8 of 11 Klay from beyond the arc, 8 of 11. Dude was liquid magma. Not only does he still have it, not only can he still find another level, and especially when they need it most, that other level is still straight up terrifying. When he's in a zone and he's letting it fly like that and he's feeling it, the guy's essentially unstoppable still. So the Lakers should look the hell out because not only does he still have that in him, he's coming back to SoCal. You know what that means too. If Klay is coming home, if Klay is returning to SoCal, Klay is returning to reunite with his beloved ocean. Preach, preach, preach. I love that so much. And that is far from the first time we've heard that from Klay. Preach. He said, I hope the weather's better. My man, it's not. It's not, but it doesn't matter. We've seen the effects of the ocean on that guy. We saw him last night before. So when he comes back home and he gets down here and he jumps into the ocean because it resets him, he's said that a million times. It heals him. He has said that a million times. I mean, they all got their own thing, right? Steph is all about the golf course. Steph finds that on the golf course. Klay finds that in the ocean. I love that about that guy. And don't act like it doesn't work. Laker fan, I'd be really worried about that. This dude. I mean, this dude. Seriously, who else is like this dude? Who else has been on a journey like this dude? I can't get over that this dude is still this dude. I can't get over that this guy can still kick it into this crazy gear, that this dude can still compete at the highest level and dominate at the highest level, that after everything he's been through, he's still that guy. He's still him. And like the easiest dude to pull for ever. Ever. Unless apparently you're his old man. Unless you're his old man, former Laker Michael Thompson. In which case you're actually rooting against your own kid. Love that. That is awesome. That is so good. I love it. I love it. Steve Kerr's like, come on, man. I would never root against my kid. But apparently they do in that family, and that's going to give Clay even more fuel. Hey, listen, on the one hand, I'm going to try and make an argument for the old man. I'm going to try. I don't think I can, but I'm going to try. Look, I mean, on the one hand, the man was a Laker, and he still works on the Laker radio broadcasts. But then again, Mike, I mean, damn, you're picking a paycheck over blood? Money over fam? Paycheck over blood, money over fam. However, then again, business is business. I learned that from a very early age because I grew up in a family business. I heard that every single night at the dinner table, almost my entire childhood, because my mother and father owned a small business. Business is business. Business is business. Hell, my old man fired me from the family business because business is business. All right, that's fine. All right, Mike, I get it. Just understand it works both ways. So don't be bent or surprised when your kid stabs you in the heart. Business is business. You're rooting for the Lakers. Don't be surprised when your kid stomps on your head and stabs you in the heart. As for the Lakers, why don't we talk about them for a minute? The hell happened? The hell happened last night? How does that happen? Yeah, I understand that when the Lakers lose, generally they do get blown out. That's not unusual. We see that a lot from that team. But that's more of a regular season thing, right? Because every single thing they've done since training camp was pointed to this very moment. They made all the right moves at the deadline. They're so much better for it. And at age 38, you know LeBron's been waiting on this. He knew. You saw him last night in the first half. So everything is geared up to this. So what happens? They go into the Dubs house. They rip game one. They know that if they do them again and Golden State falls behind 2-0 with 2 home losses, this series is already over. Then Looney gets sick, and LeBron goes off for 21 in the first half. And they still get blown the hell out? How is that even possible? How the hell do you get 21 in the first half from LeBron, and yet he's sitting out the entire fourth quarter? How the hell do you get 21 from LaFib in the first half and still get run out of the gym by 27? How? How does that happen? I'll tell you how. By having nearly every other Laker no-show. That's how. Starting with the ultimate give me an A or F dude, Anthony Street Clothes Davis.
Anthony Street Clothes Davis.
Like I tweeted last night, must have been a load management game for SCAD. In fact, that's letting that guy off easy. That's letting that guy skate. Because if he is the ultimate give me an A or give me an F dude, he was an A+ in game one and an F- last night. It's almost like SCAD came out and saw that Draymond Green had come out with a completely different level of aggression. And AD just decided, you know what? We got our split. I'm good. I really don't feel like dealing with Draymond tonight. Draymond's bringing a certain energy and intensity to it that I'm just not feeling. I'm not into it. Hey, listen, I don't know if that's what happened, but I know this. Dude straight vanished last night. From one of the 3 or 4 best players in the world to invisible in just 48 hours. That's not easy to do unless you're SCAD. Only SCAD can do that. And he does it all the time. That's what makes him SCAD. Would it surprise anybody at all then if this guy were to show up in LA and go 25-25 in game 3? Not at all. And when he does do that, don't be looking at me for an apology. Don't be looking to anybody for an apology, SCAD. When you owe everyone an apology yourself for no showing last night, starting with your teammates. If you had told me that when that loony news dropped in the pregame that we would get an entire fourth quarter of garbage time, I would have told you to get that crap out of here. But that's exactly what happened. And that's what that was. Crap. An entire fourth quarter of crap. An entire fourth quarter of garbage time. Crap. That garbage time was so trash and so boring and so painful that we actually had to hear about Jeff Van Gundy's childhood nickname during the broadcast. That's how garbagey the fourth quarter was. Jefferino, hot dog, buddy, that's it. Baby, that is painful. That is cringy, baby. If you're still cringing right now, don't blame anybody except for the Lakers. That's not even Jefferino, hot dog buddy's fault.
Buddy, that's it.
Man, you know it's a blowout. You know it's an ass blowout in the fourth quarter when that type of thing's coming up on the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to be the first to know when we do upload a new video.